Hello once again, Traveler in the Void. Today we'll be doing a tarot reading about love and the challenges in love, how to overcome said challenges, and how we can allow love into our lives. And so the zodiac signs for today are Libra, Aries, Leo, Taurus, Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Scorpio. And I'm going to take a little quick sip of coffee and we will get right into it. So I'm going to start with this oracle deck here, because I feel like this oracle deck does very well at telling us who is involved and the kind of person that they are, or the personality traits. Also, it gives planets as well, so we could compare those to the zodiac signs, so we can see who's who, possibly. It may line up, it may not. We shall see. So I'm just going to do one more little shuffle here. And let's pick a card. Okay, so we have the Hebrew High Priest and the Hopi Mask. So let's see who we're talking about. And I will show you these cards right now. Hopi Mask, Hebrew Priest. Let's see here. Now, obviously I chose two because there's going to be two people involved in love, right? Hopefully only two. That's how it should be. Hebrew High Priest, Spirit of Ambition. Israel and other Middle Eastern countries. Mars, Scorpio, Aries. Driven and ambitious. The individual becomes aware of the fires of ambition. There is skepticism, but also desire to know and understand God. Independent and authoritative, assertive and powerful, a superior mind, with an ability to uncover the weakness of others. Towering intellect, invites debate, ability to understand the abstract. Obstacles invite a challenge, needs to learn cooperation, deserving of respect and admiration. So one of you could be very ambitious, very goal-oriented, could be very smart and intellectual, can be maybe even a bit intimidating, especially with the Mars energy. You know, I feel like Scorpio and Aries can be very intimidating at times. You know, I'm a Scorpio rising, and I feel like I unintentionally intimidate people all the time. I'm not that intimidating. I'm a very nice guy. Just how it is. It's just the energy, I guess. And then we have the Hopi Kachina mask, which is Venus, and that would be what? Just Libra, right? Because Taurus, forgetting what Taurus was, but I think it's Libra. Well, I know it's Libra. Let's see. Love of the Earth. Venus, the spiritual union with Earth energies. The American Southwest. Shy, gentle, and cooperative. Natural feelings for the elements, especially the Earth energies. There is an abundant natural energy, spiritual, mystical, and dreamy with a loyal heart. Makes others feel good about themselves. There is an interest in arcane subjects, history, poetry, and dance. Extremely sensitive to life forces, senses trends and challenges. Oh, and changes. Sorry. Finds conflict highly unsettling. Peaceful, loving, and generous. Trustworthy and sympathetic. So, yeah, we have a lighter person here and one that's a little bit more. How do I say it? Powerful, maybe. Maybe someone who is just, yeah, I feel like just someone who's very. One person is very intimidating and powerful and ambitious, and the other one is a bit more lighthearted and harmonious, I would say. Maybe a bit more of a lighter energy, while the other one, I wouldn't say is a heavier energy or even a darker energy, but I would say, well, I mean, could be with, you know, Mars. But I would just say very passionate, maybe. Very passionate. Interesting mix. Maybe that's why it's a bit difficult. I'm assuming, just going off the straight intuition. Maybe it's a bit difficult that way because one really doesn't want to have any confrontation, and the other one only knows confrontation. Interesting. So let's choose some of these cards, the Love Me Oracle deck. Okay. So we have, some of these I'm going to have to cover up. Number 4, femininity, beauty, naturalness. Femininity is femininity if you are a woman, but also natural beauty if you are a man. And I will cover this with this card. Right. Okay. And then we have release, breathing. Fear does not prevent danger, so at least allow yourself to breathe. And we also have number 26, correspondence, message, letter. Hurry up, mail. Love cannot wait. Interesting. This is still a new deck for me, so I'm still not quite sure what these cards mean. So let's read. I'm gonna read the short one, or I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the short one's not as good, but I'm just gonna skim it really quick. Let's see, like if I find like a sentence here that I feel like resonates. Since I feel like I just mumble on with reading all of it. Accept yourself physically, mentally, and psychologically as you truly are. Fake selves and fake versions of yourself will disappoint and inevitably create, at one moment or another, problems of authenticity, values, respect, and communication with others, especially with your partner in love, who will be quite unable to guess what you truly want and expect. So there could be an issue with maybe a little bit of self-love. And this is in the past position. So there could be a problem with, yeah, definitely self-love, maybe even acknowledging your beauty. And maybe that is bringing out some insecurities of some sort and preventing communication. So that would be in the past. In the present position, we have a release and breathing and respite. Taking a break is, and all your activities will do you a world of good. It is time to take a deep breath. Stop believing that you can control everything without needing to let go from time to time. When a respite presents itself, it is not time to ask yourself if such a lull is normal, but rather to enjoy it fully. Catch your breath deeply. Think of all the possible ways in which you could physically let go, ideally with some physical contact, such as going to the hairdressers, getting a massage, going to see a osteopath. I don't know what that is. And so on. You must absolutely relax, whatever the cost. So maybe this is plaguing your mind a bit. Maybe this connection, maybe what you think the connection could be, or what you think, or how you think it could. I just get a bit of like fear. Yeah. Yeah, fear does not prevent danger. You're fearing something. And I think you're worrying about it a lot. I think it's saying that you need to take a break. Not from... You need to take a break from the fear. You need to take a break from the overthinking. You need to take a break. You need to do something that will be nice for you. Something that will make you happy. Something that will bring some joy into your life. Because I feel like staying at home all day is not being helpful. And I feel like maybe even like working isn't helpful at all either. Like you're probably just working and thinking about it at the same time. Correspondence, message, letter. You will need time and patience if you want to correctly correspond and communicate with someone else. Never reply in a rush, whether by mail, text message, or face-to-face, to avoid misunderstandings. This card message is very clear. There will be a lot of interaction and many discussions, but you will need to carefully design every one of your answers. Spontaneity isn't the priority in this message. You can, of course, be spontaneous about the content of what you say, but not with regard to form. So, be innovative and creative with what you're writing, but don't be impulsive with your timing or worrying about like needing to respond now. You can, of course, be spontaneous about the content, blah, blah, blah. The number of exchanges may very well tire you out or oppress you at some stage. Just force yourself not to systematically reply immediately when you get a message. Excuse me. Especially if that message has upset you. Wait for the pressure to reduce and then calmly reply. There's definitely a miscommunication here. Maybe all feelings haven't been, how would I say, they haven't been said, or maybe all the things that are being thought haven't been said, which can cause miscommunication, especially if there's a little bit of insecurity there. Yeah, I'm going to get a couple more oracle cards here, and we're going to get into the tarot. But what I'm getting from that now, so definitely, maybe someone's waiting for a text. Maybe you're scared to respond. And I think there's a bit of a duality to that message, because on the actual card of it, it says, hurry up, male. Love cannot wait. But at the same time, it said to take your time. So maybe, I think it's just something that needs to be threaded carefully. Maybe because in some shape or form, there's a lot of emotion there. And there's a lot of emotion, and I feel like there's this worry of screwing it all up. Solar chakra, adult. 6th chakra, youth. Okay. So one of you could be younger than the other. Okay. I definitely believe the older one is definitely the Mars energy, and the youthful one is the Venus energy, because the solar chakra has everything to do with willpower, manipulation of power, and it is, what else did I write here? Yeah, fire, power, will, the sun, powerful, shines bright, very, can't be ignored in a sense, like you can't ignore the sun, and it's even hard to look at the sun because it can be very intimidating on the eyes, right? But it's there, and you always know it's there. And then we have 6th chakra, which is essentially the third eye, but it's actually, the third eye is the extension of the 6th chakra. And so it's, intuition, psychic, the soul, the moon, ether, indigo. So, the 6th chakra, so the third eye, the 6th chakra and the solar plexus, or the solar chakra, are actually opposites. But not in the sense that they're like, they don't mix well, they actually need each other. So like the solar chakra powers the third eye. And if you don't have a powerful solar chakra, then you're gonna have a really hard time using your third eye. And if you have a powerful 6th chakra and a weak solar plexus, you're gonna have a really hard time using your third eye to the fullest potential because you don't have any power. So definitely, in a way, I feel like divine counterparts, in like the positive and negative to the same being, the yin and yang, the negative and the positive to the same being, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I feel good about that. That's very interesting how that came. I would even probably say maybe, if we're going off chakras, because the solar chakra is masculine and the 6th chakra is feminine. So maybe the more powerful or intimidating one could be the masculine in this situation, and the 6th chakra can be the feminine in this situation. Or it could be vice versa. Energy is energy, and sometimes women can have more masculine energy and men can have more feminine energy. So take it as it resonates, but I would take it that way, where it's whichever one is probably more intimidating or powerful is probably going to be the more masculine energy there, whichever one that may be. And we're going to take a few more cards here. I feel like this is a really good reading. I feel like I'm getting a lot of information. I like this new setup that I'm doing, or doing the oracle cards first, and then I'm going to jump into the tarot, rather than just jumping straight into the tarot, where like I'm just looking at the situation and I'm kind of like just going purely off intuition, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like the oracle cards just give a really nice solid foundation of what it is that we're talking about. So let's see what we get. I'm going to pick 3 cards, past, present, future. Cool thing about these cards is they have the text on the cards, so I don't have to guess what it means. And I know these cards pretty well, so I can just tell you what they mean. No, pain and sorrow on the bottom of the deck. Definitely. Yeah, I would say there was some pain that I could feel here. Especially with that. Especially with maybe the... I think probably both, but I think a little bit more so on the feminine side. Intuition. Commitment. Strength. So this isn't only just past, present, future. It could be seen that way, but it's also situation, challenge, and advice. So we have intuition in the situation, and intuition is a 6th chakra ability. From the left side of your body comes your female energy, whether you are a man or a woman. Within the femaleness, this feminine consciousness lives your intuition. Intuition is the intelligence of your body-mind. So think of like a gut feeling. Feel what is true with your body-mind, rather than knowing what is true with your mind. Intuition does not have the clouds of accumulated knowledge to distort your vision. Intuition simply sees what is the truth. With intuition, you can feel the source of your being without reasoning it away and being filled with doubt. Doubt destroys intuition. Your power always lies in the balance between mind and intuition. So, definitely, like I said earlier, I think there's a little bit of overthinking. And I think there needs to be a trusting of the feelings, trusting of what it is that you know to be true just within the soul. And not allowing the mind to cloud that. If you read the Yoga Sutra, that is all about not being a servant to the mind, and it's about actually making the mind a servant for you, in a sense. It's about training the mind to not allow it to have misrepresentations or misapprehension is what the word it uses, which is just knowledge that isn't fully known. So if you're allowing your mind to run off of evidence that isn't, not evidence, but like ideas that don't have evidence, or only have half lit evidence, or just ideas that could be true, the mind loves to eat that up. It loves to eat that up, and it will go crazy in a circle over and over and over again, just finding more things that could be true. But you need to breathe. Like I said here, breathe, do something that's going to make you happy. Go for a walk, go to the beach, be in the sun, do something, walk your dog, I don't know, go on a hike with your dog, hang out with family members that make you happy, and do something that, get out of the house and do something that's going to allow your mind to release those misapprehensions and find truth. And I feel like going on hikes is one of the best times or best things that I do to find truth. I used to go dog walk a lot, and I would take these dogs out to this hike, and we would just walk for like 2-3 hours and hike. And you just make it to this viewpoint, and you just look at the viewpoint, and you're like, wow. And it's almost like, it's so blissful. And you just get epiphanies, and you just think about, like, you're so tired mentally and physically that all you have is intuition left, right? All you have is body mind. And so you're just sitting there tired, and you're like looking at that, and that thing that you've been thinking about all day is finally clear. And you're like, all I had to do was not worry about it and pull the trigger on what I knew I already had to do. Number 3, commitment. This is the challenge. You need commitment to focus on your target. Take aim, pull back the bow, and then shoot your arrow, even though you know it will hit the bullseye with every shot. This is the duality of enlightenment. To hit the bullseye requires total commitment of your spirit and physical being, but it also requires total commitment to letting go, to simply walking down the path and through the gateway that leads to your true destiny. So, like, letting go of what may not work, or letting go of the doubt, right? So like, even though you know you're gonna hit the bullseye, you need to let go of that doubt that says, I can't hit the bullseye. But you know you are, and you are going to. But releasing that doubt is part of it, or releasing that fear is part of it. Where was I? Yeah, and to simply walk the path of your true destiny, because why wouldn't you want to walk the path of your true destiny? It is a process of gathering. You gather your emotions, your mental strength, and your abilities as you would gather sheep. It can be a long process, but your commitment gives you endurance. It is the next step after defining your active power. Materialize your dreams and begin to live them. Build the magnificent dream lodge within you, and do so with total commitment. So I think what it's saying there is that you need to have total commitment. And I think what it is here is like materializing your dreams and beginning to live them. And having commitment towards knowing what is true. Yeah, just like knowing what is true, knowing what it is that you want, and walking down that path to make it a reality. And that's your challenge. And that's not, I'm not trying to challenge shame here or anything like that, but I feel like it's not the worst challenge to have. It can definitely be scary, especially because the next card we have is strength. So you need to maybe accumulate your strength to get this done. Maybe you've never done this before, but I think you can do it. I don't think it's something that is unheard of. I don't think it is something that is outside your means. I think both people here are powerful. I think both of them have their own ways of doing things, especially, I mean, we have solar chakra, which again is just like pure power, you know? And then you have the sixth chakra, which is more like psychic and intuitive, but also you need both of those to bring things into the material world with manifestation. So it's like, you guys are both powerful in your own ways. And I think realizing that and not trying to make one or the other like the other is really where you're going to find your true power. The differences is what makes it work. The friction is what makes it work, because you two are polar opposites in a way. You two are polar opposites, but it's not polar opposites in a way where you guys are so different that it just could never ever work. It's like, no, you guys are the polar opposites of the same being, of the same entity, of the same soul or whatever, right? The same battery, you know? So it's like together, there's a level of power there that it just cannot be matched in like with someone else, or like even with other people. Like a lot of people don't have relationships like this, and this is why there might be a bit of like friction, and there might be a bit of like hesitance, and maybe even a little bit of insecurity or a little bit of fear, because this seems like a very special, a very powerful, a very unique and rare relationship. So I can see why it could be a bit scary for both of you. Strength. The person who upsets you the most in life is one of your best teachers. If that person can get inside your head, turn you around, and confuse you, you know that you still don't understand what you are doing. You need more strength. Learn by seeing that your life is a teaching. Like the red lotus healing its pain in inner solitude. Gain strength from entering the wounds and learning from them. Entering your wounds and learning from them. The magician remembers the trail and takes a different one, even if it is more difficult. In this way, you create your own path as you build strength from it. So yeah, going down your own path, knowing that sometimes we don't know where our paths take us, and understanding that the situations that we are put in life, even if they upset us or even if they challenge us, it's for a reason. It's a lesson. And the more and more that we ignore that lesson, the more and more it becomes more apparent. And if you just completely ignore it altogether, then you just missed out on a life lesson. And that is going to be a life lesson that's going to smack you in the face later on in life, when it is not going to be as polite. So this relationship, this union, can be maybe a bit difficult at this point in time. It may require strength. or to build strength. But once you build that strength, you're not going to have to build it again in this scenario. You may have to build strength in another part of your life later down the line. But I think the divine or the universe or whatever it is that you believe in is challenging you in love so that you can build the strength to, I feel like, grasp it. Yeah. It's like if you want it, then you must grasp it. You must have the strength to hold on to it. You must have the strength to say that you want it, to commit. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the tarot. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is going to happen? What is happening? What is going to happen? What's the advice? The outcomes? What are the thoughts? All these things. We're going to do a Celtic cross. And one thing I really want answered in this reading is like, are the fears and doubts like unfounded? Are they just fears that are just getting in the way, or is there something more to it? That's what I would like to know, because I think that would help you. I'll put this right there. Give myself a bit more space. Okay, let's see what we start with. 9 of Swords. So there's definitely a repeating nightmare, some pain that's in the present position. High Priestess in the past, and the Chariot in the future. So definitely willpower. Willpower and victory, and also guidance, I would say. Knight of Wands is crossing. Definitely leaving behind a situation or a challenge, but using your intellect and using your wits to get out of it, like spontaneously. 6 of Wands in the mind, and we also have the 6 of Swords in the subconscious. Very interesting. The Fool in the advice. So taking a leap of faith towards what it is that you want for a new life, and even if people think you're a fool for doing it, they don't know your life. They don't know what it is that you want. They don't know this other person. They don't know you. The Magician in the external influences. We have 0, 1, 2, and we also have the Chariot is 6. We have a lot of interesting numbers here today. I'll get more into that in a moment. 7 in the Hopes and Fears, 7 of Cups. Ace of Wands is your outcome. New life, new passion, and we're talking about a relationship here, so a very affectionate, passionate relationship that is very loving. Let's see what else we have here. So yeah, so now we're going to do the confirmation. So in the past position, we have the High Priestess, and we also have the 6th chakra, which are, similar. I mean, the High Priestess is a card of intuition. It's also a card of secrets. And should I take those? We got the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. They just plopped out of the deck. I will not take them, but I will note them. I will note them and say that this relationship is probably pretty important and fairly divine. A divine relationship. One that is between soulmates. Souls that have known each other for quite some time. Which could be, that's good. That's something that you can put some trust into. But as I was saying, with the High Priestess, there could be veiled knowledge currently. There could be some secrets. I don't think it's crazy secrets. I think it's more just secrets in how you feel. The High Priestess is a very independent woman, and she is mostly just focused on herself, and she's also focused on seeing the past, present, future of her life. So we also had that overthinking card, so I feel like that card could be explaining one of the two people here, whichever one resonates the most with you. Whichever one is the feminine is definitely going to be the High Priestess. So let's grab some more confirmation cards here. Over here. Six of Wands again, with the High Priestess. 10 of Cups, with the Nine of Swords. 4 of Cups in the future, with the Chariot. Emperor, crossing. Oh, upside down card. 3 of Cups, upside down. Hierophant, in the mind. 9 of Pentacles in the device with the Fool. Ace of Wands again, with the Magician in external influences. Queen of Pentacles in the Hopes and Fears. And the 8 of Cups in outcome. Don't know. I think really what it is it's when I pulled out that 4 of Cups, I kind of felt it's like missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. So, yeah. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 6 of Wands. So, you could be winning currently. You could be gaining recognition. I think maybe you had a win in the past that felt very good. It was like a really nice win. It's something that made you feel happy. Made you feel seen. Yeah. It made you feel seen and kind of pulled you out, I feel like, out of that High Priestess energy. But something happened. And now we have the 9 of Swords with the 10 of Cups. And so what I feel like what this is here, I'm just going to hold these up so you can look at them. I feel like what it is, it's like being in pain and sorrow over the manifestation that didn't happen. It's kind of what I get from this. Because the 10 of Cups is like they are manifesting those 10 cups up above them with the rainbow. And they are celebrating that they're manifesting this manifestation to come in for them, to start a new cycle. And it's also like fortune after difficulty. But what I'm feeling here is it's like something is getting in the way of allowing this relationship to flourish. Something's getting in the way of it. And you are in pain because of that. It could be overthinking. It could be not committing to what it is that you want. And it could even just be going around in that cycle of pain and not ending it. We have, gotta cover that up. The Chariot and the 4 of Cups. So the Chariot is a card of being divinely guided. It's a card of leaving behind what you already know and going off into a new journey. It's also a card of willpower and victory, right? But we have the 4 of Cups with it. So I kind of feel like I think you're being guided towards victory. I think you are, because we have very good cards. We have cards of we have the Fool, the Ace of Wands twice, the Magician, You're being guided towards a new life, but I think you're just not accepting it. One of you two. One of you are just not accepting it. You're not accepting it. Why? Why aren't you accepting it? Yeah, you're gonna miss out on opportunity in the near future if you don't allow your if you don't allow this feeling of, I feel it could be insecurity or fear and doubt of what could be. If you don't allow that to get out of the way, you're gonna miss out on a really good opportunity. You're gonna miss out on one. In the mind, we have the Six of Wands again, and the Hierophant. So, yeah, I think you want to win. I think you want to win, and I think you're looking for the guidance to get there, to get the win. I think you are. But there's something that just keeps going no. I have that Emperor card there. So we have the Emperor with the Knight of Wands. Maybe there could be some sort of third party involved. Maybe some sort of authority figure with the Emperor. But also I think that what this calls me is like, you need to take action in your own life. I think what that could be. You need to be the authority figure in your life. But with the Emperor and the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, he goes on many journeys. He is all for mystery, and he when he runs into a challenge, he is able to overcome it fairly easily with his intellect, and he's also the fastest moving. Well, no, I think that the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, but he is also a fast moving knight, so he moves forward quickly. But I have this feeling that there's like someone slowing you down. Someone's slowing you down, and you need to find a way around it. Because it's really getting in the way of something that's going to bring a lot of happiness into your life. Recognition, love, and passion, reinvention of yourself, reinvention of your environment. Yeah. Interesting. We'll get into that again later. We'll pull some more cards. So we have in the subconscious, which would be how you're feeling within. Could be your emotions, could be what you don't acknowledge about how you're feeling or thinking. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Three of Cups reversed. So I'm just going to look up really quick what the Three of Cups is reversed, because I usually don't read reversals. So I'm not the most familiar with them, but when they do pop up, I do like to read them. Because for me, I feel like then it makes it more like, it puts a certain amount of priority on it, right? Because if I put all my cards face up and that one ends up upside down, well, it's like, okay, what was meant to be? So let's see what we got here. Self-indulgence, too much of a good thing. Overindulgence, blah, blah, blah. Situation. The wedding is called off. A situation that might have caused joy now brings pain. Perhaps you will not be able to attend a celebration or reunion as planned. The Three of Cups reverse warns that you may be allowing excessive sensual pleasures to harm your well-being or health. We all have personal addictions that can lead to self-undoing. It is possible to have too much of a good thing, and there is a price to pay for overindulgence. You may also be having troubles in romantic relationships. Perhaps you or your lover have lost interest or become unfaithful. Selfish, spoiled, or overindulgent people. Addicts, spoil sports, unfaithful lovers, those who are promiscuous. I don't really get... Let me see some keywords here. Exploitation, wallowing in emotions, divorce, an invitation is withdrawn, a cancellation, It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. What's there to smile about? No occasion to join with others. Harmful excess. Yeah, because I don't really get that there's, I mean, I feel like if there was infidelity, I think we would have gotten oracle cards that were saying that, especially with the Love Me Oracle deck, which has cards like that. Um, I mean, we did get the commitment card, but I didn't, again, it's not like, it wasn't, hmm. I just don't get the feeling that there's a third party. I really don't. I think what it could be more so because, oops. So the Six of Swords is a card of like adaptation or transition or like leaving behind traumas. And what I think the trauma is the Three of Cups reversed. I think this is what the problem is. I think this is what it is. I think there's this feeling. Yes, I'm getting it. There's this feeling of there's this feeling that there's not enough love, or there's a feeling or uncertainty of how much the other person actually loves you, or there's a worry that there could be someone else in the future. That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, looking at these cards, I don't think so. But we can confirm later. We'll confirm it. So, in damn sadness. In the advice, we have the Fool, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles. So definitely, I think there's a need, or what you're being asked to do is to take a leap of faith towards this relationship. I think you need to have a new beginning in your environment. It's time for it to expand and grow. It's time for it to not just be a regular Pentacle card. The Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy, or a pre-Empress card, and so I think it's time to become the Empress. I don't think it's. I think allowing this energy is keeping you stuck where you are when it's time to evolve. Yeah, it's time to evolve. In the external influences, we have the Magician and the Ace of Wands. So again, I think you really want to reinvent your life. I think you want to have this new beginning. I think you want to, experience a passionate love story. I think you do, both of you. But it's like there needs to be action. There needs to be action. In the hopes and fears, we have the Seven of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So, the Seven of Cups is a card of illusion and dreams. It's a card of not like having like a bunch of choices. But what I think here it is like it's like a bunch of ideas of what could be. And with the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is a practical plan put into place. It could also be like multiplication of resources, or using your resources wisely. And so I think what I'm kind of getting from it is like, what reality do I want to bring into fruition? And there's a lot of options for you. There's many different routes you can take, and each cup has its own pro and con to it, right? So I feel like there's also that there. That's like, maybe in this relationship you're thinking it could go this way, it could go that way, it could go this way, it could go that way, depending on all these circumstances, and I don't know which one it is going to be. There's only one way to find out, and there has to be some sort of give and take in order for you to get the information needed. Yeah. So in the outcome, we have the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Cups. What I'm kind of getting from it is, I do really want to walk away from it. Is that really what's going to make you happy? Walking away from something that, in my looking at these cards, hasn't even really progressed that far. It's like still the early stages, and I think a lot of your own maybe past experiences with the High Priestess, you know, past whatever happened in your past, whatever influences you've had or whatever you've seen before, are influencing your life in ways that shouldn't be. And you have an opportunity here to have a new experience, to have something that could really bring a lot of fulfillment into your life. But you need to let go of the fear. Yeah. You need to let go of the fear. Because the fear is what's holding you back. It's holding you back a lot. And I think you need to take control of your life. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it is. So let's see. We have a few questions to answer here. One about infidelity. And we have a question to ask about, let's say, I feel like that's just the main questions, infidelity. Tarot or Oracle? Let's do Tarot. Is there actual love here, right? I feel like that's another question. It's like, is there real love here? Is this something that's actually real, or is it fake? Is it fake? Am I just gonna get played? It's kind of what I'm getting. Let's see. Just do a couple little shuffles. Should I pull another one? I don't think so. So we got the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card of working at it. So, no, I don't think you will get played. But I think there's definitely some emotions here that need to be let out. I think there needs to be communication to be on the same page. There needs to be work at it. You both need to work at it. Is what I'm getting from it. So no, you're not gonna get played. But is it true love? Strength card. Only if you want it to be is kind of what I'm getting from that. Only if you want it to be. If you want it to be true love, then it is. But you need to find the strength. You need to find the strength. Because if you don't, then it will never be. It'll never be. So what do you do? What do you do? We'll pull one last card, and that is it. You gotta make your decision. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Will you take a leap of faith and go down a path that may seem a bit uncertain, even though all the energies here say that it's gonna be really, really good? Will you take a leap of faith or stay in the place where you are at and not evolve? Will you stay where you are just because it's more comfortable, even if it hurts? Even if it hurts? Because I feel like there's like this feeling of like, if I go down this place, what if it hurts more than what it hurts now? I don't think it will. I don't think it is going to hurt more. I think you're missing out on opportunity. With the Four of Cups and the Three of Cups upside down. But yeah, I mean, what's crossing you though? Emperor and the Knight of Wands. I think you need to take charge. Take the lead. See where it goes. See where it goes. And we'll do one more thing. Fine, one more card. Is there anyone else influencing this relationship? Spread. Four of Cups. No. There's no one else. There's no one else influencing this relationship. It's just you two. So yeah. That's it. That's your reading. Take a leap of faith. Good luck. Till next time, traveler in the void.